was great to see you up on the stage last night. Is this your first convention, or were you there in 2004?
I was there with Barack in 2004, but this is the first time obviously I've ever spoken at a convention. And some fellow Illinoisans, sorry. And it was just awesome. It was unbelievable experience, to be able to, at the age of 32, to speak. Thank you very much. Apparently I did all right. To be able to speak on a national stage. I used to watch conventions growing up with my father. So much energy, and it was a little overwhelming. So a ton of fun. I didn't fall down the stairs or mess up, so I'm pretty happy about that.
More broadly than just Illinois' prominence here, are you noticing anything different about the mood, the size of this operation, anything? Any observations?
The size, the security, the amount of technology, and it just feels like, and again, maybe because I was in Boston a few days, I feel like there's a lot more people. I feel like there's a lot more energy too. In Boston, obviously with Barack there was energy, but outside of that it was kind of like, all right, we don't really like George Bush, how can we do this? Here, we got to change the course of this country, how can we get more progressive activists involved, and there's seminars, and there's events, and there's always parties, but it seems like there's a little more substance and a lot more energy. And I think, last night when Michelle spoke and Ted Kennedy spoke, the place was just rocking. My mom was crying, a bunch of people were crying, and I just felt like there's a lot more energy, but maybe it's just me, I don't know.
Speaking of big events, were you in Springfield last week for the Biden event?
I was.
And how was that?
It was awesome. I think it was like 35,000 people showed up.
Yep.
And just the energy in Springfield was it was pretty impressive. And then, of course, Joe Biden is a great speaker, very powerful guy. My favorite part was when, Barack announced Joe Biden, and there's this long sort of catwalk alongside of the Old State Capitol. And Biden just starts kind of running down it, like, the sleeves rolled up. And it was something to come out to.
It was a Springsteen song.
It was a Springsteen song. This is God's country.
Right.
And it was pretty sweet.
And so speaking of Springfield, pretty much everyone who's there is now here. We've been having these delegation breakfasts in the morning. I've been there kind of observing. It's a pretty wild thing to see that whole community, in a room together every day with everything that's going on back home. Do you think anything productive will come out of this sort of unity-oriented event that everyone's taking part in? Or are we kind of beyond that as far as Springfield goes?
I don't know. It's tough to say, but I will tell you, people that you didn't think would be speaking to each other were all together. And the important thing, at least for this week, is how can we help get Barack Obama elected president of the United States? And for me, on a personal note, he's been like a mentor to me, a close friend, and it's just tremendous to see what he's been able to do. So hopefully everyone in Illinois will rally around him, and will really, if we get him in the White House, it's going to be awesome.
And in terms of your thoughts about the Springfield situation, do you see it as more of a structural problem, or one based around personalities?
Unfortunately, it's not a structural problem. It's not people who disagree ideologically with each other. It's just people who have put egos and personal agenda and personalities and personal disputes in front of good government. And that, to me, as someone who's new to politics, is just completely unacceptable. I ran for office because I love helping people, and that's what I thought everybody did. And to see these people who just don't like each other, and it's one thing not to like someone, but to base your whole legislation and attitude and work ethic on how much you don't like someone, to me, it's a little disconcerting.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just one last question.
Yeah.
On that note, have you thought about the Constitutional Convention? This is a big issue. It's starting to bubble up. It's on the ballot this November. What do you think about the pros and cons of that one?
No pun intended. I think it's probably a good idea. I know a lot of people are working against it. I just don't know that even a constitutional convention can really help when there's just such a complete lack of leadership. And as a Democrat, it really pains me to say that. It brings me no joy to say that our governor's not doing a good job. I just think there have been so many missed opportunities. We have a Democratic governor, supermajority in the Senate, majority in the House, and for us not only not to get things done, things to be flying out the door, we've actually had the longest overtime session. We've really, there are people who are expecting things from us, education, healthcare, and we can't even do the bare minimum. And it's so disheartening to see, because people are really really looking for us. That's why they work so hard for Democrats and people who are blogging, people who are putting signs up, people who are wearing buttons, people who are writing checks wanted this. They got it, and now we're not delivering.
All right. Well, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thanks, Josh.
Have a great rest of your stay.
Thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
Thanks.